Hi there. Welcome to the Goalgetter Podcast. We are so glad that you are here. I'm Lindsay, the dreamer and visionary of the business.
And I'm Jordan, the brains of the business, meaning I do all the back end stuff or anything that Lindsay doesn't like doing.
We're a husband and wife duo who took a leap of faith several years ago to embark on this permanent makeup business journey together.
We both worked unsuccessful and unfulfilling jobs before, and now we've turned our business into a thriving six-figure business.
They say you're meant to lead those who were once in your shoes, so that's what we're doing, navigating kids, homeschooling, business, and life together.
But this podcast is about more than just business and permanent makeup. It's about personal growth. We're here to help you conquer your goals, both in your business and in life.
And remember, growth begins when you get outside of your comfort zone.
Does all that sound good? Awesome. Let's dive on in. What's up, guys? It's been a little bit of a while since we've jumped on a podcast, and there's good reason for it. We've had a lot of changes going on in our business. Everything from, if you've been paying attention, to our rebrand and how we're no longer Machine Microblading, and now we are Bowerman Artistry. So definitely planning on an episode there in just the rebrand. And then we also opened another location down in Florida. So that was another main contribution to why we ended up switching our name and why we ended up changing. So be in tune for that episode, probably coming up next after this one. But in the process of doing so, guys, it is totally kind of reignited something inside me and Lindsay to really be so much more in touch with like how we actually grew our permanent makeup business. And basically that's what I want to talk about today. So essentially, when you first start off in business, I think the easy mindset to get into, or the default maybe mindset to get into, is to just think that, people will find me. Like, I'll just post on social media, maybe I'll talk to a couple people, or I'll text a couple people I know to get the service done, or offer the product to that person, and people will just come find me. I think a main thing that happens when people have this mindset is our culture has bought into the idea of this thing of going viral, right? So if I just post on social media a few times a day, go in stories, talk about my thing, like eventually, like I'll have hundreds of thousands of views, and all of a sudden I'll just be this like overnight success of a celebrity. And actually, if you look at a lot of those people, those influencers, those are people that have gained those followings, it's happened over a period of time. It has not just been like an instant moment or one single video that all of a sudden catapulted them into being this well-known figure, or being the top in their industry or something like that. So it's slowly built over time, and it's just that consistency of posting that can cause you to do that. But I think for us, we see it a lot in our students that go through our training. And I think a lot of new people getting into permanent makeup just think that it's going to be easy. And quite frankly, to be fully transparent with you guys, like, we thought opening a location in Florida and essentially getting that off the ground and building a clientele down there, we kind of thought it'd be somewhat easy, since we've been in the industry now for almost 8 years. And what we've learned is like, oh man, we're going to have to totally go back to a lot of our foundation, to how we built our business in Indiana to essentially be able to grow up in Florida now. So totally going back to like grassroots. But the one thing I would say is, like, social media, you have to continue to be consistent in posting, and that can't be your only way to essentially get your name out there or let people know that you're there. That is just like one leg of the table that is going to support your business. So if you're solely relying on social media, it's not going to go well for you, and you're going to want to give up before it even gets started. So then diving into, okay, so you might ask then, like, so what are other legs that you can stand on? Okay, so this is me also just documenting literally what we're doing in Florida right now. So the easiest way to essentially get more traffic to your business, or get more people with eyes on your business, is to essentially like borrow someone else's audience. Okay, so what I mean by that is there are influencers, there are people in your area who maybe on social media, maybe they just have a successful business that pairs well with your business, and they already have an established clientele. They already have been doing it for years and years and years. They already have the trust of their clients for what they're doing and what their specific industry is, and maybe that partners well. I wouldn't go to a competition or somebody who does the same thing you do, but something that pairs well. So if maybe you do lashes or something like that, you could partner with maybe a hairstylist that has been doing hair for 10 or 15 years, and they have an established clientele, and their clients trust them, and they are looking now for, hey, like I would love to refer somebody to get their lashes done. You can partner with them that way. So a couple things in doing this, you're going to want to incentivize the person that you're trying to partner with. If you just come to them and just say, hey, like, give me all your clients and thank you, they're not going to want to refer people your way. So you can do that in a couple different ways. You can do it by potentially like giving them your service for free, and then in return maybe also offering them a small percentage or a dollar amount of the people that end up booking with you that get referred by them. So you can do that, or you can just do literally like almost like a straight affiliate. So like any person, they don't even have to have your service done or buy your product. They can literally just refer people to you by their name, and then you give them a percentage of that sale every single time somebody books. But yeah, that's essentially like borrowing somebody else's audience to kind of get you off the ground and get you going. It also is going to buy you social proof. So in meaning social proof is basically saying that like, hey, somebody else that already has that audience is vouching for your service or your product, saying, hey, it's worth it, it's good, I trust them, and you can get in and trust them too. Another big thing that you can do is, and a lot of people I think overlook this. So when you're first starting out in your business, you might think like, I don't have anybody that I can contact. I don't know who I can contact. I was recently listening to a podcast with Alex Hermosi, and he was basically talking about like how to get your first leads. And I think just by overthinking that word and thinking of leads, you might think like, oh, I don't have any leads. Well, a lead is essentially just somebody you can contact. So I'm pretty sure in this day and age, everybody has a cell phone, probably has contacts in that cell phone. So you have cell phone numbers right there of friends and family and people that already trust you to be able to purchase your products or services. Okay, so there's one list. You can also literally go through your social media profiles and anybody who follows you. There's more leads right there on your social medias. And then you go into your email list, and any email, any personal email that you have emailed in the past like year or so, there's another list. So you have essentially those three lists right there that you can write everything down. And I'm sure just between those three, you should have, I would guess, somewhere between 150 and maybe 300 people right there that you would be able to contact immediately. And so sometimes we overthink leads, or we overthink like how I can get people into my business. And sometimes it's as easy as the people that are right in front of us when we're first starting out. The fourth and final way I would say, and I would definitely not lean on this one as much when you're starting out, but it's by running ads. Okay, so a lot of times ads are only effective if you've been in business for a while and you already have that social proof. I like to think of ads essentially as like gasoline. So if you already have a fire going, meaning you already have plenty of leads coming in, people that are interested in their service, people are starting to talk about you, word of mouth, that kind of thing, then ads are essentially just going to add gasoline onto that fire where the fire is going to get bigger. But if you don't have that fire initially, then the ads are not going to do anything, and you're going to end up paying Mark Zuckerberg more money, and you're going to essentially not get anything in return for those ads. And a bonus one real quick, fifth one here, that we just thought of is essentially not doing a booth rent where you're going to be essentially on your own, where you're not going to be able to lean on other businesses. So the way we structured our Florida deal and going down there is we're actually inside of a med spa down there. So by being inside of the med spa, we've already communicated with them. We've talked about how we plan to be able to offer our services to their current client base, and then also how we can cross-reference in the clients that we're going to end up generating down there to be able to give to them in their services. So it's essentially like another partnership, but it's like an ongoing one. So if you're starting out your business from the ground up, it can be very appealing to think like, oh, I'm my own boss and I can just, go booth rent at a sola salon or something like that and try and generate my own money and my own revenue that way. But it's extremely hard to do it totally 100% by yourself in the very beginning. You almost have to lean on somebody unless your product or service is so revolutionary that it just totally changes the market, and anymore that's extremely, extremely rare. So I would highly recommend, if you're in the products or service industry, leaning on some other business to be able to essentially operate within and renting space from them to be able to also capitalize on their clients as well. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Goalgetter Podcast. We love doing this. I love absolutely just like documenting the process for you guys and just showing what has worked for us and what hopefully will continue to work for us. But if you have other ways that you're like, oh man, this has been revolutionary for my business, or this is what I tried and this helped and it's totally different than the ones that I mentioned, definitely comment them below. Otherwise, just continue to stay in tune. We will continue to just document the journey as we go. And hopefully, if nothing else, this just sparks some interest in your brain and just get those wheels spinning so that you can grow your business. Thank you guys so much for listening, and stay tuned.